Oh yeah, you already know what time it is. You already know what's going on. I am your host, Cam Silver,
I'm your co-host Kyle Silver.
and welcome back to another episode of the Silver Boys Podcast. Kyle,
Hey.
last week finally got our eyes on a few draft prospects that we've all been waiting to see, and
Mm-hmm.
obviously the biggest one of Shedeur Sanders. He had to start due to the fact that Kenny Pickett and Dylan Gabriel were both out with injuries, and for his debut, he did pretty good. Threw for 14, 23, 138 passing yards, two touchdowns. He also had four rushes for 19 yards and led three drives that led on to touchdowns. So yeah, overall, really good. From my evaluation, he looked calm in the pocket, looked very decisive. He was confident in everything that he could do. Obviously, still has the bit of a problem of holding on to the ball too long, but rookie quarterback does not have that problem because the transition to the NFL game is a little different. But no, overall, I was very happy and I was very excited to see Shedeur, and he did very well.
Yeah, definitely. I back everything that you're saying. I saw some great things from him. During his first, actual official start, as an NFL quarterback. I saw some throws that, I think that he just needs to get more in the rhythm of doing. Seen some throws that like, just looked a little bit over, but I'm glad that that one where the homeboy caught it like
The one hand, the running
we
back.
caught it with the left. I'm like, all right, so that's just great player making great plays. But nah, he was able to fit that first touchdown real nice into into the seams. It was almost like he threw it right over for his teammate to be able to catch it. So I thought that that was just like a good read more than anything. He made some good throws though as well too. It just all comes down to just comfortability, but I liked him. I liked his presence in the pocket. Looked strong. Definitely hold on to the ball a little too long, but I think that's something that he'll get. That's a tendency that will be removed more than anything else. So I mean, I liked it a lot. I'm happy to see him, and I'm happy. I think I'm more happy at the fact that I seen an entire community behind him.
Yeah.
Um, and that was really nice to see. Like everybody was excited for him, and it felt like everybody's like wants to see him win more than anything else. To me, that's just the buzz that was surrounding him, and it just being a preseason game, the buzz that was coming, his way and whatnot. So I love to see that. Um, he got people rooting for him. And so he got a lot of people that that wants to see him do well. A lot of people that are proud of him for his first preseason game. So, dude, and don't let him like start to win games because things might get out of control.
Yeah, no, he looked very well. Sucks
hmm
though because Wednesday, and before the joint practice with the Eagles, he actually hurt his oblique, and now
hmm
is unlikely to play on Saturday, which will open up time for Dylan Gabriel and possibly Kenny Pickett. He's still dealing with his hamstring injury, so we'll see. It could be. It could be a good thing for Shedeur because now, like I said, it opens up for Dylan Gabriel, but now Shedeur has set the bar. So
hmm
now Dylan Gabriel will basically have to either meet that bar or go above it in order for,
hmm
the this Browns team to to give the Browns coaches something to really think about. But Shadeur's still fourth on the quarterback chart. Kind of seen it coming because obviously they're not going to go crazy over just one game.
Yeah.
Makes sense. So don't think too much of that. Just honestly, just just hope that he gets back healthy sooner rather than later, and then maybe hopefully next week he can get back onto the field and he could still show some more improvement.
hmm hmm
Um,
Definitely interested to see how Dylan Gabriel does right now, though.
mhm.
Even along if Kenny Pickett does get some PT or not. Just like you said, Shador's at the bar, so I want to see if these guys are able to exceed that bar or not, or can he be QB1 or even QB2 behind Joe Flacco? Like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah,
So we'll see. We'll definitely see.
yeah. I think that's the biggest fight right now, just for like QB2, QB3, I guess.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. I don't know if I see Joe Flacco losing that QB1. Honestly speaking, I think he will start week one. But that could go either way as we get, as the weeks progress.
Yeah, yeah, I think he's kind of a lock to be
Yeah,
QB1 for week one, and then I think it'll just be more so like a week to week basis where if we get into like week five and the team is like 1-4 or something like that, then I can definitely see him
exactly.
making a shake up. But yeah, no, for right
Hmm.
now, Flacco, I believe Flacco will be the number one guy. He was in this Stefanski offense when he led them to the playoffs that one year, a couple years ago. So yeah, he's definitely in there. He's definitely a shoe-in at this point. Uh,
Hmm.
Moving on to Cam Ward, he had his debut Saturday. He went
Okay.
5 for 8, 67 yards, and he led a 65-yard touchdown. Most of his three, if yeah, three of the five completed passes that he threw were to Calvin Ridley, who he's in pretty good rhythm with, and 50 of those yards, 50 of those 67 yards came from Calvin Ridley. So
Hmm.
good to see him getting that chemistry together with the number one guy. Hopefully he can start getting it in with everybody else, like the Tyler Lockett's that are over there. I do know Tajay Spears, their starting running back, will be out for a few weeks with an ankle sprain. So very interested to see how that will affect their offense. But yeah, Cam Ward is I like where Cam Ward is at. This is a place where it's not that many expectations for him,
Hmm.
so that he could basically just come in and do what he wants to do and grow, hopefully with this team.
Yeah, most definitely. We don't expect a lot from this Titans offense, really. But Cam Ward is the type of guy that can make game winning plays, can make game winning throws. Um, and so it's just like this is just a building process, I think, more than anything else. Just
Hmm.
let the you gotta just let the kid progress. You gotta just let him, take his time and not really rush him to be able to. What I don't expect is like a CJ Stroud, Jaden Daniels first type of season. Does that make sense?
Right.
But you never know because we've been lucky enough and fortunate enough to see a lot of guys that get their first year come in and really, really start to make a difference. And I think Cam Ward is that type of guy. He is that type of player. So you get a solid team around him and he will make noise. He will also make noise.
Most definitely. Most definitely.
Hmm.
Eagles guard Landon Dickerson, he went down with a leg injury in open practice Sunday night. It was a meniscus injury and he's considered
Hmm.
weak. So that is actually pretty big because he's the highest paid guard in the league, and for a reason, because he is literally the best guard there is right now. So
Oh wow.
that's pretty big right there for the Eagles. So hopefully he is okay so that
Hmm.
they can get back to full strength. Kyle Shanahan says that Brian Ayuk could be back for week 6, so still a
Oh
lot of
wow,
time.
damn,
Yeah,
that's a
yeah.
lot of time,
And
dude, for
we're and we're
Brandon
al-
Ayuk.
and we're also gonna get into the 49ers later on in our preview for the NFC West. Um, Tyrod Taylor underwent arthroscopic knee surgery and will miss the rest of the preseason, but obviously we know most of that time will end up going to Justin Fields because obviously new team, new coaches, new everything for the Jets. So looking forward to that. And then James Cook
Hmm.
reached an agreement, a contract extension with the Bills for 4 years, 48 mil, and that includes 30 million guaranteed.
Wow, good for him. Good for him. Workhorse of a guy,
Yeah.
workhorse. And I'm glad to see somebody got paid like right before the season starts too.
Yep. Yep.
Deal's still being made, yo, and we about to be in week 2 of the preseason.
Yeah, man. So yeah, no, that's a good look for him, and that's a good look for the Bills too, because he was putting in work. He was
No,
putting
most
in a lot of
definitely,
work.
most definitely.
So yeah, good for them. But
Hmm.
on to our previews.
Okay,
We're gonna resume with that, and we are going to the NFC South.
all right.
We're gonna start off with the Atlanta Falcons. So last year, the Atlanta Falcons, they drafted Michael Penix Jr. shockingly in the first round, um, basically backing up for Cousins. And then after Cousins went on a 5 game stretch where he just seemed like he was out of rhythm and just could not get anything going, they elected to go with Penix Jr. And in those 3 games, he went 1-2, but he completed 58% of his passes, 3 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. So just looking to be more consistent this year, and then obviously having more time with his receivers. So I expect a, a good amount of a jump for Drake London, and especially for Kyle Pitts, who's on his contract year this year. So
Hmm.
he has something to prove this year. And then on defense, this year they had took two good edge rushers in Jalon Walker and James Pierce Jr. And they also have Jets defensive coordinator, former defensive coordinator Jeff Albrecht. So yeah, this
Okay.
Carolina Panthers team is not Carolina Panthers, excuse me, Atlanta Falcons team is looking to make that jump and try to rival the Buccaneers for a spot in the playoffs.
Yeah, most definitely. Because we'll get into the Buccaneers when we do, but Atlanta is definitely in its I'm gonna say Atlanta is still in its infancy of figuring things out a little bit, but I
Hmm.
like the fact that you mentioned that Kyle Pitts is on a contract year, so it's important. So his game is going to step up because he has something to prove. He got to get his bag. Definitely interested to see Drake London as well too. And then there. Hold on. Yeah, they're running back. They got Bijan Robinson. Obviously, we know who that guy is. Like he's just him,
Yep.
Timothy Carter. You know what I'm saying? Whatever
Hmm.
you want to say
Hmm.
about him, he's him. And it really also comes down to Michael Penix Jr. I don't want him to lose that starting job. Because of what Kirk Cousins, that slide that Kirk had, but like Kirk is still a QB1 on any franchise if you really want to be honest here. He's getting a lot of money as well too, his contract and whatnot. But but I see Michael Penix taking a jump this year as well too. Their defense is nothing to sneeze at as well. So their defense can win you some games, I believe.
Hmm.
So as long as Michael Penix Jr. is he don't gotta be great, he just gotta be good.
Yeah,
He gotta just not be the reason that they lose.
there you go.
Um, and if that happens, I could see them, making some noise in this division. Definitely.
Yeah, yeah, easily.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
we'll see with the Falcons. But moving on to the Panthers, Bryce Young is entering his third year. Will this
Mm-hmm.
finally be the year that he's able to make a leap? Um, the he showed promise in the second half of the season. They were only a score away from beating the Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
In the last three games, he had three touchdowns with no interceptions, and he rushed for three more touchdowns. The old line is still intact. They have Xavier Legette, and they drafted Tutoria McMillan. T-Mac is what they call him. Him and Bryce Young, they had a pretty good connection in the preseason game against the Browns this past week. So, yeah, hopefully Bryce Young can improve. He looked like he was improving. He looked good in the preseason game versus the Browns. So very interested to see that. But a good amount of the offseason was focused on the defense because they had literally the league's worst defense last season. They signed Tershawn Wharton and Bobby Brown Jr. and they added in pass rusher and Pat Jones the second and Pro Bowl defensive end Derek Brown as well. So who missed all of the season last year with the injury. So yeah, Panthers, they're just a team that you just want to see them build.
As far as I'm concerned, when it comes to Carolina, that's football purgatory. Um, they are the worst team in the league as far as I'm concerned, number two. So I just have one. My only expectation is just for them to not be the worst team in the league anymore.
There you
That's
go.
really it.
Yeah.
If you guys could just maybe get three spots ahead of that, I'll call that a win. I will call Bryce Young progressing at a fast rate is going to be important, but I think that is going to be, goal number two more than anything else.
Hmm.
Be responsible for why they're winning is the most important thing. I'm glad that you said that, like you said, their defense, they upgraded that defense because that was a big thing. But yes, I mean, looking at their schedule, just Jaguars, okay. You got the Cardinals, okay. Like the Falcons, the Patriots, like one, two, three, like three, four of these games, at least those first 4 weeks. You know what I mean? You could
They can
go a
be,
little like 2-2, 3-1, I
I was
think.
to say they can be at least competitive in those. That's probably going to be the key for them, if
Exactly.
anything.
Exactly. So and then if he starts off the season hot, you never know where they could go. All it takes is a couple good games, a couple good stretches of games, and you give yourself the best position to keep that momentum going.
Right.
So you if they could start off those first 4 weeks at a 500 like clip,
Hmm.
then we'll revisit that. We'll
Yeah.
revisit that.
Yeah. I like.
We got to do like a mid-season review too. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that's gonna
Yeah.
be important. Like, what did we say about them? Like here, and then what's going on in the middle of the season at like week 8, week 9. You know what I'm
Right. Right.
saying?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
when like some of those teams have like when there's like a good amount of those teams are on like buys for like a certain week.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah,
got that.
yeah,
I got that.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I like that. I like that
Just
idea.
to see, because now I'm interested in Carolina. If they like 0-6, bro, we got a
Then it's
problem.
like, all right.
We
It's
got
like,
a
all right,
problem.
someone's got to go.
Yeah, you Bryce Young dog, you done. You know, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. No hate though. No hate. I promise.
Never, never doubt. Going on to the Saints. Their new head coach used to be the Eagles' offensive coordinator, and Kellen Moore. So he's
Hmm.
going to try to see what he could do with this Saints squad. They still do not have their quarterback situation under control. They drafted Tyler Shook or Shog, I think it's Shook, if I'm not mistaken.
Tyler
Um,
Shaw, yeah,
Oh
something
yeah,
like
something like
yeah.
that, right? They drafted Spencer Rattler last season. He started 6 games because of Derek Carr's injury. They also have the Jake Hayner kid. No one in their quarterback room has ever won an actual NFL game. That's that's pretty big. As
Damn.
bad as the Panthers were, at
I know.
least
Wait,
Bryce
I think I
Young,
don't know,
at least
man.
Bryce
Wait a
Young and
minute.
Andy Dalton have won games.
Yeah. Oh
Um,
man.
that's really the biggest thing on defense. They're having cornerback battles to see who's gonna play alongside Kool-Aid McKinstry, and obviously they're having battles down in the trenches to see who's gonna start for the defensive tackles. But if you don't have a quarterback, it ain't nothing else for us to really talk
Listen,
about.
listen. If Carolina is 1A, Saints is 1B. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna say there. Because the way when you explain it the way that you just explained it like that, wait a minute, brother. Wait a minute.
The no wins in the NFL right there kind of sums up everything.
Woo. You don't even got like somebody that like that was in the NFL that could give anybody an experience about it, just an NFL game. No, they
Right.
going in fresh,
Yep.
wet still, wet still behind the ears.
Hmm.
Um, so I mean, I'm gonna be honest, I don't really know much about the Saints only because I don't really follow them like that. So I don't really have insane expectations, I'll just say. Again, 1A, 1B. That's
Yeah.
that's where I fall.
Yeah, you just want to see some type of progression, whether that's player development,
Hmm.
it's development with like the coaches and the schemes, development for
Yes.
organizational standpoint. You just, yeah,
But I do have faith in Kellen Moore and putting guys in the best position to succeed.
yeah, because
We
he,
know what he was able to do with that Eagles offense. We know what he was able to do with that Cowboys offense when he was over there, and how
hmm
good Dak was looking back in the day. Like for that stretch that he was with Kellen Moore.
yeah,
So if there's somebody to have faith in getting an offense right and understanding certain things, it's him. It's
yeah,
him. So I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt on that part.
yeah. I just hope they give him a grace period and let him grow into that role with that team.
You have no choice but to, because if he does, he's going to make noise. I
Oh yeah,
like he like it's just he has a proven track record. You
yeah,
know,
yeah. No, and shoot, Mike McCarthy fired him because he was scoring too many points. I've never
like
heard
like
that in my
what
life. Like,
what? I've never heard of that.
it's not my fault. Y'all gave me an OP receiver and an OP quarterback.
You know? Come on now, he was putting up video game numbers down in Dallas. I mean, it's probably the best thing that Mike McCarthy ever did.
And yeah, for that stagnant offense that he had.
Yo.
Moving on to the Bucks. So Chris Godwin is still recovering from his dislocated ankle injury. Their left tackle Tristan Wirfs, he underwent arthroscopic knee surgery, so he marched off the season on the unable to perform list.
Hmm.
But they did draft Ohio State's Emeka Mbuka, who is he's a real deal as we've
Okay.
seen in college. So that gives Godwin time to really recover and come back at 100% if he can
Hmm.
get going. They see what else. Oh, they also have a new offensive coordinator and Josh Gizzard, who all the players love him. He helped the Bucks become the league's top third down offense last season. So very, very interested in that. Obviously, on the defensive side, they're taken care of with head coach uh Todd Bowles over there, drawing up every type of blitz that he could find.
Mhm.
Going just going back to the Saints, I'm gonna feel so bad when they play the Bucks, man, because
Oh God, they
Bulls
got
is
to send
gonna
him twice too.
Bulls is gonna be out there acting a fool, man.
He's gonna send pressure every for 80 for 80 plays. He's gonna send pressure, dog. If
I
there's
rem
80 defensive plays in a game, he's gonna blitz 80 times.
bro, when the Giants went up against the Bucks last year, I told my boy Jason, I said, yo, Bulls is gonna kill one of these quarterbacks, man, because that old line is nothing.
Yeah, yo. Oh God. Thank you, Cam. Thank you. Thank you for that. Nah, you know, Tampa Bay, what another team that can make a deep playoff run. Baker Mayfield is just you get him in a comfortable position, dog. He's like that. And then you give him Mike Evans as well too, who has like who has like mad like a lot of 1,000 yard like
Yes,
seasons or whatever.
1,000 yard season every
He's
year.
he's always had it exactly. So I mean, when you got a guy like that, that's just you just go throw the ball up and he can go get it anywhere, anytime. That puts your team in the best position to win at all times. In my personal opinion.
Yep.
Like you said, that defense we could keep talking about just because of Todd Bowles and what they're able to do scheme wise and the pressure that they're able to create and the pressure that's able to come. Um, so I mean, I'm interested to see them. I expect them to get into the playoffs again and represent this division again. I do. I really do.
Yeah, yeah, same here. Moving on to the Cardinals. Can they finally put it together this season? They have
Okay.
everything that they need on offense. They have Trey McBride, James Conner, Marvin Harrison Jr., Kyler Murray at the helm. And they're for the most part they haven't even touched their offense at all. So
Mm-hmm.
obviously they're very confident in their offense. But the defense did change a good amount. Now they have Josh Sweat, Calais Campbell is back, Dalvin Thompson. They drafted Walter Nolan the third in the first round. At corner, they drafted Will Johnson, who was one of the top rated cornerbacks, and they also drafted Denzel Burke, who was another good cornerback as well. And then they're getting some help with the linebackers and also a little bit of help on the edge rush too. So Cardinals, they got it. It's just a matter of them actually putting it together this time.
Very, very much so. Very, very much so. And I think it's getting to a point now too with, thank God they got Marvin Harrison Jr. because he just revitalized that offense because some question marks were coming around that around just that entire organization. And even Kyler Murray at the helm too. But with a guy like Kyler and you have Marvin Harrison Jr. who we all think could be Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase esque. We know who his daddy is.
Mhm.
um, I expect them to contend against the Rams or even the 49ers. Um, I actually think that they're in a better position than the 49ers. We'll get into that, but I can see Arizona making some noise. I'm going to they got okay, so they got Saints, Panthers, 49ers, Seahawks, Titans.
Oh, man.
Again, that's another
That's at least 3-2 if they can manage it right. To say the least, 4-1 if they can manage it right. Because the division games in the NFC West be
are always hard, are
those
always
are
hard,
those are some of
always
the
hard.
wild games ever.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, I don't know. I could see them going about 4-1 though. I really could. And again, I said it earlier. It comes down if you start off with momentum, you start off high, you're gonna keep going. You
Hmm.
know what I mean? I
Hmm.
mean, it's a long NFL season and things can happen, but who knows?
Yeah,
Who knows? I think there's just more question marks surrounding Arizona than there are answers, honestly.
yeah, yeah. Because
I don't really know. I don't really know what to expect because they're so
the roller
roller
coaster.
coastery,
Hmm.
you know.
Yeah, no, it's like I said, like I said before. they have the talent. Like I named
Hmm.
all the guys. Trey McBride,
Hmm.
literally one of the best tight ends. James Conner is a running back who he puts his head down. You don't
Yeah,
want
James Conner
to.
is nice.
He's tough, you know. They have Marvin Harrison Jr., who can arguably be one of the best receivers, as you stated. They have a Zay Jones and a Greg Dortch,
Hmm.
who both of them are speedsters, man. They can
Mm.
get out, they can get out over there. Like on offense, they can do it. It's just a matter of Kyler Murray being able to read the defense, getting the ball to his playmakers, and letting them create and letting them work.
I
And
want
the
to.
defense is just about stopping.
I wanted to say something real quick. Have you seen on Instagram like the helmet cams
Hmm.
that they sometimes and I looked and I was like, I'm short, okay,
Oh boy, Kyler Murray and Dylan Gabriel, my brother. They
I'm
can't.
short.
Yo,
Them
even
guys.
let me say something. Even Brock Purdy, who's taller than those guys, even admitted to the point like he can't even see over the line.
So I think, and that's just that really puts things into perspective and what Kyler Murray can do. You know
Mm.
what I mean? Because I think he just throwing the ball up and just praying, dog.
That's what it feels like. That's what it seems like.
That's what it for like. That's wild. I just wanted to say that part. That was yeah, yo, because them helmet cams. My first thought was like Kyler. It's like, dude.
That's why you always see him on the bootlegs and he's always going
Exactly,
out.
exactly. You get him
Yo,
out of that pocket.
hmm.
Hmm.
All right, we only got a few minutes left, so we
Okay.
got to speed rush this a little bit. But the Rams, obviously, the biggest story right now is the fact that Matthew Stafford has barely even practiced because of back problems.
Hmm.
So that is something to look out for. Kyron Williams is back, obviously. I think he will probably be looking for a contract extension, or he probably got one. I forgot. Devontae Adams, they got in free agency, which is huge because he replaces obviously Cooper Kupp. So
Hmm.
very interested to see how that looks. But also they have a young defense who, they made some noise. They gave the Eagles literally the toughest
Hmm.
battle that they had all season, and especially in the playoffs. So
Yeah.
looking forward to all of that as well. Also the Rams have the toughest schedule this year and will travel the second most miles in the league this year as well.
Damn. So those travel miles are gonna add up. Yeah. I just seen that it says Matthew Stafford will be practicing on Saturday. So that's a good that was just reported a couple hours ago on Thursday. So I'm excited. I'm glad to see that he's kind of just making his way back. The Rams are obviously Super Bowl contenders. To be quite honest with you, I
Hmm.
think they have been for the last couple years, and they will continue to be. The lost Cooper Cup is I don't like it. I don't like it at all. But you got Devontae Adams, and we know Matthew Stafford can sling that rock. So if he's healthy, he'll get Devontae
He'll
as
get
much as he needs to. You know.
Yeah, easily.
Hmm.
And also remember Puka
And
Nacua
don't.
over there.
Yeah, I was just about. I was thank you because I would put that boy Puka is.
He's a
You
man.
got Puka and Devontae. That's you got a tandem right there.
Yeah, man, he's the man over there.
Hmm.
Going to the Niners. The Niners got hit with the injury bug last season. C-Mac didn't play as much. Ayuk obviously tore his ACL. They literally either traded, released, or lost in free agency 17 players. So
Damn.
they're moving more towards the youth movement, which they kind of have to. I'm not gonna lie, because most of their players were getting old. Um, on the defensive side, they're trying to fill the voids for both outside linebacker positions as they lost both Trey Greenlaw and Devondre Campbell, and they're looking to replace their defensive tackles in Javon Hargrave, and I forgot the other one, but they drafted two young guys, but also Robert Saleh is back, so
Yeah.
if he could get that defense back to the way it used to be, then the 49ers will give teams problems.
Do you think the 49ers are in rebuild again? Like, do you consider them still a playoff team?
Not really.
I don't. I can't. I can't
Really,
personally.
they lost too much. They lost too much on defense. Period. In my
Yeah.
opinion, like most of the guys are young. Like unless they could replicate what the Rams did last season,
Hmm.
most of their young guys, then no, I don't
It
see it.
just it feels like the 49ers have gone off this cliff.
Yeah.
They have really like they were at the peak, and then that injury bug, and then losing 17 of your players.
Hmm.
Yeah, dude, you have hit a cliff.
And then also you gotta understand, bro, you guys lost the Super Bowl twice to the same team. You know, they They were there in 2019. Then after that, those next few years, they were always there in the divisional round getting knocked out, then in the conference championship round getting knocked out, and then you get back there, and then all of a sudden, boom.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
the body just didn't hold up, and I think winning one probably would have made it feel a little better. But yeah, the bodies just didn't hold up. It was probably too much.
That's sad to say because we witnessed the downfall. I feel like you know what I
Yeah,
mean.
yeah,
So
sadly,
it's important for them to get right back up to there.
yeah, yeah.
You know.
Moving on to our last team in the Seattle Seahawks, they basically did an overhaul on their offense. Sam Darnold is now the new quarterback. They got Cooper Kupp and Marquez Valdes-Scantling replacing both DK and Tyler Lockett. They drafted a left guard in Gray Zamble, and they drafted tight end Elijah Arroyo, who will replace Noah Fant. And they also changed their offensive coordinator as well. So, but they will be leaning more onto their defense because the defense last season allowed the ninth fewest points in the NFL, and mainly most of their returning key players came back.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm interested to see what Seattle's going to be able to do. You know, they were relatively good last season. Relatively is probably the wrong word, but I think that there's you got Cooper Cup now. You know, MVS is he's no scrub. He's no slouch. He can do what needs to be done. Um, they can contend in this division as well too. I think it goes like Rams, Cardinals, Seahawks, or Rams, Seahawks, Cardinals. Like that second spot is up for grabs more than anything else.
Yeah, most definitely, most definitely. Yeah, no,
You know,
we just got to wait and see. This division is gonna be a fun one.
this division gonna be
This division
tough,
is gonna be a
man.
fun one. It's always a fun one though, because
Yeah.
all four of these teams always get after it, especially after each
hmm
other, man. So,
hmm
you know, looking forward to it. But that is our episode for this week. Come back
We
next week
we
as
say the best two for last,
Yep, yep. As we
boy.
save up for the NFC North and the East. And
hmm
then, if we do have time, we will for sure try to get into the top 25 of the college football as that list was revealed on Monday. But till then, I'm your host, Cam Silver,
I'm your co-host Kyle Silver.
and this is the Silver Boys.
Thank you, thank you.